Hey, guys, hello everyone. Smith is with you. And this is the second part, which I promised in the first issue about the most common mistakes of beginners in the Blender. And so, let's go. We'll start with a common phenomenon. All these phenomena are not common among beginners. I also got caught in many, that is, fell for it. Let's say we need to make a chaise muse on this sphere or an autosmus, that is, it doesn't matter here. And shot in, as if something is wrong with him. Clearly something is broken here. What is broken here? For example, if you look through the normal to see where they are turned out, that is, they also often sin normally. That is, well, you can immediately identify the problem if you look at the normal ones if you understand them. You can turn on the normals and we see that the faces are all looking out, but these ones that were problematic, for some reason they look inside. But every time we will not turn on the face and look like this at each one separately like this, in order to understand where they are looking there. To do this, there is another more convenient function called pace, it is located right here. We turn it on and immediately see what our problem is. The fact that we have an incorrectly rotated face. This may be because of the extrusion, for example, that is, the extrusion can be done topsy-turvy and because of this, there will be an inverted face. I'll turn on the normals now. How to fix it? We select the area we want to fix. Well, let's say 1. Press Alt-N and then flip. But you can also select the entire sphere, also Alt-N and then choose to recalculate to the outside. And it will all be recalculated. That is, even if there is some small and unnoticeable here, it will also be recalculated and then you will not have any shading, nothing. Also the problem of these here faces. It may not even touch you, that is, maybe you have a style there and under a neck flat, when all the edges are visible and so on. But when you model, texture. Let's say I'm texturing in SapSense, and now I'll show you what could be because of this. So we switch to SapSense, so we can draw here, do anything, right? Throw textures and so on. Let's say I put on the texture of gold, take my doodles, throw on the texture of gold. Here we have such a style of disco ball discs. Yes. We look like this, everything is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Bang! What is this hole? And these are just the same faces that look inside this ball, and we see them, well, roughly speaking, another part of the interior that is not textured. It's from the inside, right here, it's kind of textured, here it is. That is, the outer part of this face, it has become glazed. But due to the fact that it is flipped incorrectly, I showed Blender, it will burn red in a blender, then the back part is just not painted over for optimization. You can also see it here it is. So be careful when exporting, always check, well, not even when exporting, you can turn on the face orientation there, that is, then turn on the Hob project, see what's wrong, where the red light is burning, immediately fix it so that you don't come back later. And now let's talk a little bit about engines and about loopcats. We have such a test stand and you need to throw a loop back. A loopcat is, if anything, a controller and such a line appears. You can move it on the GG. Well, that is, it has a lot of functions there. Let's say we need to throw a loop back here. Will it happen here too? Loopcat will not pass because it does not pass through triangles. Next. The sponge passes through the square. Here he was square. 1, 2, 3, 4. He went through the square, but his triangle was slowed down by this one. That is, there was a square before that. Here it is a square. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a triangle here. It doesn't pass. Here the splint becomes here at this moment. Here it stopped, because the triangle. Next, Will Lubcat pass here? The answer. Well, you can just count the vertices. Yes, Lubcat will pass. But if we want to throw a splint like this, it won't work. Why? Because there is an engen here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 peaks. If there were 4 peaks here, he would have passed. But so, he doesn't understand just the blender, where to throw the loop back. Do you want to maybe do this like this? Or maybe like this? Or maybe like this? Bender doesn't understand just how to carry on. If it was on a flat surface, well, more precisely, if it was on a quad, he would understand where you want to do with it and spend it. But not here. There was ego. Keep an eye on the egons and make sure that all your loopkatiki pass. If the loopback does not pass, you can do, well, not a temporary fix. In principle, this is often done. We press the key button, it's a knife and just drive, that is, we clamp it on some surface, on some edge, click the English letter hey and drive as needed. If you need it to cut through, then you will need to press it also. All the hotkeys are here. Just spend, pinch and here. Well, I mean the button. Everything, Lubcat is carried out, even through a triangle. There was a triangle here, but it passed. In principle, then, if you optimize the model, then it's all cleaned up in this way, just GG, GG. Well, here it is like this. These are other guides to look at, not mine. Here I want to tell you about the most common mistakes of beginners, which I personally watched in the Blender chat. Now let's talk a little about the interface. Let's say you need to select an object, but it is not allocated. Here, that is, I click and it does not stand out. Neither this one will stand out, not this one, nothing at all. Here I am pinching, let's say, driving. This is all due to the fact that right here you have chosen the selection by accident with the W hotkey, that is, you can switch it with it. There is a selection when you can simply select with the mouse, let's say the entire area is selected like this and it won't all stand out. There is a selection, let's say, when you're right here, you can also look and either choose like this. There is also a selection that selects the object as needed, as it was before, that is, as the default. But if you pinch on an object, it will start moving. Maybe it will be more convenient for someone. There is a standard selection, when you pinch it and there is such a square. That is, you can select all the objects like this. There is a central selection, here is a circular one. How does it work? There's a beer point here. And if a beer point gets into this circle, then the object will stand out. You can select several at once. You can also highlight just like that. It also works according to the beer point system. If you select just an object of some kind of mesh, then it will not stand out. It is necessary to highlight the beer point. I have it right here in the center. That is, you can do it like this and only this one will stand out. If anything, it's right here. By default, the side selector is on. This one, when it stands out according to the standard. Well, finally, I will capture a very unimportant detail, but if you encounter it, you will normally kill it so temporarily. Here I have a cube, an ordinary cube. I want to make a bevel on it. Our favorite BL do. Select the face, press Ctrl B and start to lead down. What? Who? What is it in general? What's the problem? Why does my bevel behave differently? It's all because you chose in. Well, there's always this thing, it's hidden. This is all because you once revealed it, accidentally chose not this particular thing, but this one, custom. And then you can customize the bell for yourself. Usually it happens, that is, they just accidentally clicked somewhere here like this hop. It's all bent. You can do that is, different things with them, you can remove them. That is, there was no then it will not work, but if you want some kind of curved yes, you can make a standard one like this. You can have some kind of curved one like this. Well, that is, if something is wrong with bell, then you already know where you can go, see if it's here. Well, or set up some, which you want yourself. Those who were particularly attentive realized that I was deceiving you a little somewhere. I've only told you about 9 mistakes. Since I want to pour the 10th error into my Telegram channel, it can be found at the link in the description. Click on it and there will be a video that you can watch. Thank you all for watching and we will hear you in the next video.